The rats are running for the exits. Companies are rushing to end their DEI programs. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of all of these companies rushing to end their DEI programs, which is just basically another name for did not earn it or legal discrimination. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You never really know what can happen on this platform, so go ahead and follow us over there. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a word from Angry's Crypto Academy.
You don't have a
memo to employees. The Minneapolis-based company says it will end its three-year DEI goals, stop reports to external diversity-focused groups, and end a program focused on carrying more products from Black or minority-owned businesses. The decision follows President Trump's executive orders almost immediately after his inauguration to end the government's DEI programs. NBC's Brian Chung joining us now with that. Brian, this is a pretty significant change of direction for Target, right? Walk us through the company's history with DEI and suddenly a turnaround?
Yeah, Tom, as you outlined there, Target rolling back a number of their DEI policies and announcement today. And in a memo that a chief executive officer in the high ranks of Target sending to employees today, they described the reason for making these DEI changes as, quote, the result of the evolving external landscape. And you can imagine what that external landscape entails. It is, of course, the new president wanting to roll back DEI within the federal government and a lot of these mounting challenges against other companies that we've seen in the last few months with regards to their DEI policies. But I want to point out, this is a pretty remarkable turn for a company, Target, that is based in Minneapolis. As you recall, that is the city where George Floyd was murdered in 2020. And Target at the time was one of the first companies to really go out and in a full-throated manner defend their efforts to try to boost DEI policies. At the time, CEO Brian Cornell saying, quote, that could have been one of my Target team members. And then now here you have this announcement today, Tom, that they're rolling back those policies. It really does speak to the environment that we're in today.
Can you drill down on that? Because we have seen several companies kind of reversing course here, right? Are they reading the tea leaves for the culture nationwide, the pop culture or Main Street USA, or are they responding to pressure from President Trump?
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily directly a function of President Trump. You could argue that a lot of these pressures have actually been coming from the corporate sector and a lot of kind of activist groups, even in the months leading up to the election. But when you look at names like Harley Davidson, names like Walmart, names like McDonald's, these are companies that have pared back their DEI policies. But I want to point out it's not the case at every company. Just yesterday, Costco had a shareholder vote where they voted down a proposal to pare back their policies. And Tom, that vote was 98% against changing and rolling back their policies. So very much an open battleground in the DEI space, at least in corporate America.
Yeah, I saw that Costco vote. That's really striking compared to the others out there that are reversing course.
Now, what's really interesting is that Costco is facing lawsuits. You have attorney generals from various states basically saying that they are preparing to sue Costco while Costco is refusing to undo their DEI programs. It's a very, very strange situation. Costco has also announced that they're going to be raising the pay rates for pretty much almost every employee in the store to $30 an hour, which is kind of insane because that means they will now be making more, even double what some teachers make. They'll be making double or more than double what some teachers make. They'll be making more or even double what some medical professionals make. So, let's say you're a nursing assistant. To be a nursing assistant, you actually have to go and do training. You have to go through a program. You have to actually do exams and stand before a verbal examination. You don't just get to work as a nursing assistant. Or to be a phlebotomist, you have to go and do specialized training. And a lot of these people who do phlebotomy make usually somewhere between $15 and $20 an hour. And now working at Costco, you'll make at least $60 and at least $60,000 a year. And, $30 an hour, and you'll stand around saying that you deserve it. And then, of course, there's going to be a bunch of other people now saying, well, this is setting the standards, this is setting the bar. So that means, and this is exactly where things were going with McDonald's, for example, because they're already demanding $30 an hour, and some are even demanding $50 an hour. And it's heading in this direction where the worst of our society are basically behaving this way. So there's many lawsuits going forward right now, and these companies are going to begin to fall apart rapidly based on their horrible initiatives and these programs, which are basically, legalized discrimination programs, allowing them to funnel money to specific groups of people while discriminating against other groups of people. It's an absolutely disgraceful it's an absolutely disgraceful and disgusting thing that they're doing. And hopefully it will, Trump is I want to say hopefully it'll be stopped, but Trump is absolutely making an effect because many of them are facing lawsuits. So it's again very, very strange that Target is going down this route and they're actually doubling down. And then they said that, like, it was like a 90% vote, like people within the company voted 90% of the shareholders voted to keep this going. This means that you're dealing with hands down shareholders who are corrupt. These are the corrupt people. These are the people trying to push an agenda. There's a game called Kingdom Come too, and they basically added LGBTQ content. They also added a character in the game who was black when they clearly said that the main character, for example, was a heterosexual straight man in the first game. They changed his gender identity to now a bisexual man, and he can have a gay relationship. There was originally no black people in the game, and they told the developers of the game said that during that period there were no black people in that era, and now there's a black guy in the game, and it's obvious. And then even an investor stepped out and said that he was the one who said to add LGBTQ, add gay representation, make the main character now now gay or bisexual, and all of this was done. It's 100% an agenda push. And again, I'm not saying that you cannot have games or experiences that have representation for the LGBTQ audience or for gays, but these types of games are not representative of them. I've heard from so many people who are gay who said, "Yeah, Chief, this ain't it. These games are not for us. This stuff is not for us. This stuff makes me want to go backwards, not forwards." And it's understandable because when you look at things like Life is Strange, which was basically a game. I mean, obviously it had woke themes in it, but it was very well accepted. It was basically like two cute girls getting coffee, and and people play the game. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's two cute girls getting coffee," and this went from being a game that was very supportive of the LGBTQ community to Life is Strange 2, where you go from two cute girls getting coffee to Bebop and Rocksteady getting coffee, and those are supposed to be your cute girls, and it's like, what? They change everything. They make everything very weird. It's no longer about just like a normal relationship. It's about pushing DEI initiatives and all kinds of woke ideologies using it's crazy. And it's really, really crazy what's happening. It's really, really crazy what's happening. And just to be very, very clear, it's not going to stop. There's a video from the Yellow Flash, and he titles it "The Trump Effect." Pension fund slaps Target with lawsuit over DEI lies. Says company ripped them off. So now the lawsuits are beginning, which is, again, I don't understand what's going on. What's going on with Target, but again, not with Target, with Costco, but more than likely it's something to do with those investors. Something to do with those investors. They're choosing to double down because they've done some very bad things, and so they're going to basically just try to play it off because I don't know, a lot of these people are going to be, I think, may very well end up in prison, and it's not going to be easy. There's actually the video from the Yellow Flash who talks more about this. We're going to be jumping into his video momentarily. His channel will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go check him out and support him. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
Things have changed in a short period of time. We're seeing significant changes to the way things are done in government, business, and in public. It's been great. It's been W after W after W. I love it. This has been a great year so far. At least I think so. And I hope a lot of people that might have been a little bit black-pilled might be coming back. I think you should embrace the white pill because, I mean, this has been a tremendous year so far. A bunch of stuff happened yesterday. I'm going to talk about that later, but I want to talk about this for right now because this is pretty interesting. So Target said back in January, I don't know if they have the date. Where's the date on here? Yeah, January 29th. They were like, we're going to roll back our DEI. We're going to roll it back. We're going to cut back. We're going to go back to just trying to be about business, pushing all that aside. I call this the Trump effect, because as soon as he came in and started getting rid of this stuff, every company, minus a few, like Costco didn't, but a lot of them, even the tech giants, were like, okay, we're going to roll this back. We're going to use this as an excuse to shed a lot of this nonsense. Well, investors say not so fast. You don't get to just get away with this. So Target has been hit with a class action suit claiming they misled investors over DEI policies. Now, this is cool, and I'd like to see more of this. So you have a pension fund. The City of Riviera Beach Police Pension Fund is suing them because they lost money over this shit. The first time, and I didn't know this, the first time their stock has lost money in years was, if you remember, this women's bathing suit tuck thing.
Guys, we're heading for a major crash, a major crisis. This is why you should not be focusing on relationships. You should be focusing on getting your money. Don't forget to check out Angry's Crypto Academy, because hard times have arrived. You're going to witness ATMs are going to stop working. Banks are going to chain the doors. Protect your wealth and safeguard your future with crypto. And Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. It will tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. So don't miss out. The Academy is going to be a link description of video, because we're heading into crazy times. All of these woke companies are going to begin collapsing. They're going to begin laying people off. It's going to be hard to even get a job working with DoorDash, because that's going to be an oversaturated area. And the only people that are going to be able to survive and thrive are going to be people who have invested. Also, don't forget to check out the day trading course, because you'll basically learn how to make hundreds of dollars a day just trading crypto using the most simple strategies that even a fifth grader can employ. So go ahead and check that out for sure.
If you know who Alex Stein is, he did a really funny thing where he went into Target and tried this on. And he was walking around. And it's really funny. But yeah, they're suing him. And I would like to see more of this. This is what needs to happen to a lot of these companies. You need to learn that your bad business policies are going to have repercussions. So, Target was hit with a class action lawsuit on Friday after shareholders alleged the national retailer misled investors about the risks of its DEI initiatives, which led to consumer boycotts and its stock price to tank. The class action lawsuit, led by the City of Riviera Beach Police Pension Fund, alleges that Target misused investor funds for political and social goals and duped investors into buying stock at artificially inflated prices. The suit claims that Target made fraudulent public statements regarding the board overseeing the risks of its DEI initiatives, and the executives and board misled investors about the risks those programs posed. Of course they did. You think they're going to tell you, yeah, this really isn't going to help you make any money? It's more about social change. There's no money in that. But you have these people, these activist CEOs and these activists in the company, and they want to push their bullshit, and they're so caught up in it that they don't really care about money anymore. I mean, a lot of these people have enough money. They're totally willing to lose your money. They have no problem with that. Their money's fine. They're not going to lose any money. A lot of them, like Bob Iger, for example, he sold a lot of his stock at Disney. I don't even think he's a major shareholder anymore. He did sell a bunch of it. I remember that going down like last year. So a lot of the times, like a lot of these people are de-investing in the shit that they run. You should have to be a major stockholder or something if you're going to run a company. I think you should have to have investment in it. Because if you have investment in it, you're going to want it to succeed. But, what do I know? Target stock price plummeted 22% November 20th, 2024, destroying nearly $16 billion in market cap in a single day. Wow. That's a lot. That is crazy. And that was all over that backlash. You know what that was? That was a Bud Light moment for them. And I remember they started walking shit back because they were afraid of the Bud Light moment. And they talk about that in this article. After the retailer reported disappointing earnings, the dive in prices came after Target became embroiled in a nationwide controversy surrounding its DEI and Pride initiatives. The retailer faced severe backlash in 2023 after they sold tuck-friendly female-style bathing suits and mugs, displaying the term gender fluid as part of their Pride store displays. Target executives were forced to hold an emergency meeting because they didn't want a Bud Light situation. Target's sales fell 5.4% in the quarter ending July 2023, the first time its sales dropped in 6 years. That's bad. I didn't know that. So that did have significant effect. Bud Light has still, in my opinion, not recovered from that shit, that Dylan Mulvaney stuff that they got caught up in. I don't think that they've recovered from that. I don't know if they ever will. I don't think that they're in quite the same situation as they were. I think a lot of it has died down. But, you know, when you have people switch up things, like a lot of people, I bet you, that all they...
So Bud Light never recovered. They've tried everything. They lost most of the value of the company. They lost tens of billions of dollars, which is insane to say that a company could lose tens of billions. They lost most of their market cap for Bud Light. And it's just been absolutely terrible. They are better off trying to completely rebrand Bud Light than they are to trying to salvage the brand. They honestly should work on a rebrand. You know, like create an American beer, you know, that had the same values and ideals as Bud Light, and go from there. And just rebrand it and resell it under something else. Make a commercial like what Carl's Jr. did that shows this is a man's brand. No, you know, none of the rainbow stuff, none of this. Like I showed you this guys in another video, but I'll play it again. This is what Carl's Jr. did, and this is basically going to be shown during the Super Bowl. This looks like something from the 90s, all right? Like, you know, updated for the modern era with a smartphone, and it's unbelievable. Like this is this is the Trump effect right here.
Real. Everyone's gonna be a hot mess after the big game. Been there, done that. And I've got just what you need to cure that post-party bug. The Carl's Jr. Hangover Burger. Egg, double bacon, yeah, you need that double bacon. Charbroiled beef, hash browns, cheese, and sauce. Just the way I like it. And guess what? It's free the day after the big game. You just have to download the Carl's Jr. app and sign up for my rewards. So get your free hangover burger on Monday, February 10th. He'll definitely need one.
I mean, this right here is the Trump effect. This is what men want. Pretty girls, burgers, freedom. Guys, this is what men want, and the male gaze is powerful. You know, look at what Chinese and Korean companies are doing right now, where they are pumping out games that have as many beautiful women as possible in them, because they are going after the core audience that buys these games. Straight males, heterosexual men. And this is it. This is really it. Look at this. This is going to play at the Super Bowl, guys. Like, you cannot get much more scantily clad than this. Like, there's a lot of work to do, but we are so back. We are so back. Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now. And of course, it's not just Target. It's so many other companies that are jumping into this, including companies like Walmart, but then even tech companies.
Google is eliminating its diversity hiring goals and reviewing some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The move follows similar rollbacks by other major companies, including Meta and Amazon. The company set aspirational hiring targets in 2020 to increase leadership representation from underrepresented groups. But in an internal memo this week, Google's chief people officer told employees, quote, "In the future, we will no longer have aspirational goals," end quote. The decision comes as companies across the U.S. face growing pressure to scale back DEI efforts, particularly after a 2023 Supreme Court ruling that struck down affirmative action in college admissions. Google's latest annual report also removed a statement that had previously said the company was committed to making diversity, equity, and inclusion part of everything we do. That phrase had been included in the company's filings since 2021. The company is reviewing whether to continue releasing annual diversity reports and is assessing its DEI-related grants, training, and initiatives. According to the internal memo, Google is focusing on programs that are most impactful while eliminating those that raise risk or have not met expectations. Despite the changes, Google says it will keep employee resource groups such as Trans at Google and the Black Googler Network and the Disability Alliance. Google is also evaluating its DEI programs in response to recent court filings and executive orders issued by President Donald Trump, which limit diversity initiatives among federal contractors. Google, which provides cloud computing and other services to the U.S. government, confirmed that its legal teams are reviewing the impact of these policy changes. Other major tech companies are making similar changes. Meta recently disbanded its team overseeing diversity efforts, while Amazon announced it would wind down some of its DEI programs by the end of 2024. Corporate diversity initiatives have been under increasing scrutiny from conservative groups, some of which have threatened litigation against companies that continue prioritizing DEI in hiring and promotions. For more of our unbiased updates, download the Straight Arrow News app or go to san.com.
Tonight, Walmart joining a growing list of companies rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives amid growing pressure from conservative activists.
I am very proud to report to you guys that Walmart has decided on making some changes.
The largest retailer in the world confirming it will curb racial equity training for employees, no longer consider suppliers race or gender to boost diversity, stop selling LGBTQ-themed items online that are marketed to children, including chest binders for youth going through a gender change, and end funding for its Racial Equity Center, a 5-year philanthropic effort launched after the police killing of George Floyd in 2020. Which sparked nationwide protests and a racial justice reckoning. Walmart, which employs roughly 1.6 million workers in the U.S., also ended its participation in the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index. following the same move by Ford, Harley-Davidson, Lowe's, and Molson Coors.
We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America.
The public push for change at Walmart spearheaded by Robbie Starbuck, a former music video director turned conservative activist who leads what he calls an effort to eliminate wokeness.
I think this is a tremendous victory. Many have tried to get companies at this scale to change corporate policy, and it's ultimately a very, very difficult effort.
What do you think the implications of this are?
Big picture is actually very simple for me. I believe that companies need to sort of change the way that they operate around these issues to adopt a neutral approach where nobody with a specific set of political beliefs feels that the other side's political beliefs are being forced on them.
A spokesperson for Walmart confirms the company had conversations with Starbucks over the last week, but already had DEI-related changes underway. Walmart writing in a statement, "We've been on a journey and know we aren't perfect, but every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging." Starbucks, who has more than 1 million followers on social media, has called on consumers to boycott several companies over their, quote, woke policies.
I got some Bud Lights for us.
A similar boycott of Bud Light last year after the company featured transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney in marketing tanked sales of the beer, with Anheuser-Busch reporting a 10.5% revenue decline in the months that followed.
Conservatives have organized in ways that progressive and liberals, frankly, just have not. They have organized in ways to attack DEI and to spread misinformation and disinformation about what DEI is and aims to do.
Sean Harper, a professor of business who has worked with hundreds of companies, says DEI initiatives are meant to be inclusive.
DEI initiatives are meant to be inclusive. Guys, I want you to understand something, that a lot of these DEI initiatives are also connected to the USAID. And the USAID was pushing all kinds of garbage. And even, like, for example, Nancy, like all these legislators were getting massive kickbacks. You know, evidently, like Nancy Pelosi got something like $25 million from USAID. It's a massive scandal that's happening right now. And I've talked about it in another video already. But guys, a lot of these people are going to be heading to prison. A lot of these jobs are going to be vanishing. I've also told you guys countless times that you should be focusing on getting your money. You should also learn about investing, how to do crypto day trading. And we teach you guys how to do that in the academy, because guys, the jobs are going to begin drying up a lot because of DEI. A lot of these companies are going to start to break down, even if they don't collapse outright, although some of them are going to collapse, especially companies in like the gaming industry, tech sector, even retailers. They are going to go downhill. They're going to completely be wiped out because of their foolish DEI initiatives. And you're going to witness as more people are rushing into the gig economy, trying to do these stupid DoorDash jobs, Uber Eats. I've heard from some of you who are like, "Don't be disrespectful to me. You know, I'm a person. That money helps me to feed my family. That's my job, bro. That's a hustle. That's a hustle. Let me explain what a real job is to you. A real job is one where you're able to run your business without depending on tips. I'm being straight, okay? Like this is a real job. What I'm doing right here now is a real job. This is an LLC, all right? This is an incorporated business. YouTube, by the way, is not my business. I use this to grow my business. This is an actual business. I am an actual business owner. You are not an actual business owner. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who do set up like an LLC, and they do use the LLC to pay their taxes and get tax benefits that work in that do things like DoorDash and so forth. But the vast majority of people are not doing that. Okay, if your job requires you to live off tips, then that's not a job. That's a hustle. Okay, that's not an actual job. Now, don't get me wrong. There are exceptions. For example, if you're a live streamer, you're a live streamer. That's different. There are big differences. But the thing is, but you are not. If you're like, okay, well, delivering food is not my job. Well, maybe if you're running your own delivery business, it's different. But this is not a delivery business, bro. Okay. And you are not entitled when people are paying a service fee. If you're running a delivery business, the service fee is your payment for the job. All right. And it doesn't matter what you think about me. It doesn't matter if you don't like what I'm saying, the words coming out of my mouth. Many of those jobs are going to be oversaturated. They're already becoming oversaturated. But as the floor falls out, those jobs won't be there anymore. You won't even be able to do them. It's going to become much more difficult to make money doing this. And there's going to be a lot of people in their desperation who are going to be grateful to make $10 an hour if they can get. A lot of people are making $30 an hour, $50 an hour doing some of these jobs. There will be a lot of people who are grateful to get $10 an hour, especially people that are, a lot of the Hispanic people that come from other countries. They are grateful to take that $10 an hour. So you're not going to be able to compete with them. All right. And it's going to be spread out. It's not going to be like, oh, you're going to get like a food delivery order cost. No. They're going to be so small. The money that you're going to make from these things are going to be so small. A lot of people are going to be like, it's not worth it. But then when you realize how hard it is to make money in this world, there are a lot of people who try to convince you. I see these idiots online. Oh, making money is so easy, blah, blah, blah. When you are broke and you don't know what to do, it can be like a nightmare. All right. Like that's why most Gen Zers, their future is stealing and squatting, because they don't have a lifetime of knowledge, a body of knowledge to pull from on learning how to build value, how to create products that people want, products and services. They don't even know how to be funny. Like, guys, many of you don't realize it. Some of you do. I study comedy. I study lots and lots of comedy. I have to be able to make you laugh. I have to keep you interested. Guys like Psych Hacks have talked about this, where he talked about, Psych Hacks comes from he's a psychologist, but he comes from the acting community. Okay? All of us have to learn how to be entertainers to provide you with this information. You would not be watching my videos if I was not able to entertain you. Okay? So Gen Z, they don't know how to do these things. They can barely communicate. They don't want to talk to one another. How the hell do you think they're gonna be able to talk to you? All right, they're cooked. All right, so these people are going to be in the streets. They're going to be stealing, squatting. They're going to be incarcerated. They're going to be institutionalized. I've already said this, that Gen Z will spend, many, if not most Gen Zers will spend the majority of their lives in and out of prison, while many, if not most Gen Alphas will spend the majority of their lives in prison. All right? Because that's how these people roll. Guys, when everything goes to hell, one of the best things you can do is be invested in crypto. And we teach you which cryptos to be invested in, but also learn how to do basic day trading. We have the crypto day trading blueprint for dummies over in the Crypto Academy, which teaches you how to do this. And that's actually available that's available for bootcamp members. We actually have a mega sale, 75% off right now for Super Bowl weekend. We've never had a sale this large. We've literally never had a sale this large over in the Academy. Everything is 75% off. Go and if you've been on the fence, if you've been wanting to join the Academy, all right, and you've been waiting for a great sale, this is it, 75% off. It ends Super Bowl ends on February 9th, which is the day of the Super Bowl at 11:59 p.m. So you'll have the entire day to get it, but you only have 2 days now left. 75% off over in the Academy. Largest sale we've had ever. Go and check that out, guys. And like I said, you can get into the crypto, get into the bootcamp membership, which gives you access to all of our paid products. So all bootcamp members get access to any paid products. They get access to that stuff. Paid members get access to courses, everything else. So I mean, that's absolutely amazing, guys. And listen to this for a moment, because I want you guys to fully understand how easy it is what you can do when it comes to crypto day trading. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Crypto Trading for Dummies blueprint. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100, or even hundreds daily trading small amounts. Working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a fifth grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now. Yeah, guys, it's going to be nasty out there in those streets. And DEI is going to play a major role in the collapse of everything, y'all.
They were Bud Light to the core, Budweiser to the core. Probably dropped that beer and found a new one and never went back. Those are customers you're probably never going to get back. And I would be willing to bet quite a few people walked away from Bud Light and are never going to return to that beer. I don't know why you would. It's piss beer. It tastes like ass. Why would you? I've never got the appeal unless you're like a.
I've never liked it. Tastes like piss. It really tastes like piss to me. I taste Bud Light. I've never liked Bud Light. It's like it tastes like piss water. You know what I know what I roll with? Corona. I really like me gusta. I really like Corona. And with a little lemon in it, little lemon, little lime. Oh my gosh, that is so good. It is so good. It's like lemonade for me. It's like adult lemonade. I tell you, I'm never gonna have kids. Probably. I mean, or if I did, I'd be in my 60s by the time they could have a drink with me. So it kind of sucks, that hey, I can never sit down with my son and say, okay, have this drink. Sit, come on, kid, sit down, have this drink. That's one thing like you won't ever be able to do as a father. You'll never be able to sit with your children. You'll never be able to sit with your children and have you have your first give your kid their first drink and teach them and guide them through life and create like a legacy. That's something something that I'm never going to probably have because it's good. I'm in my early 40s now, but I just don't have I don't have the patience. I don't have the drive. I've missed and lost so much of life that it's about me right now. It's really about me being selfish, me being taking care of myself. That's what ends up happening. Women robbed us of so much. Society robbed us of so much through M2 and through discrimination and things like DI that and I know I was discriminated against using DI. I 100% know I was discriminated against, and it goes back many years. And I had an attorney straight up tell me that he thinks I was being discriminated against, because I was a man. Oh my gosh. But it is what it is, and it's like women don't understand. Like because of everything men have lost, we can't focus on women anymore. We can't focus on society. We have to focus on ourselves. We have to focus on taking care of ourselves. We have to focus on our money. We have to focus on our relationship with God. A lot of you need to freaking repent. All right. You damn well know what you did. You were simps. A lot of y'all were simps. And instead of getting right with God, you were trying to get right with women. And look at you now. All right. You need to repent. You need to repent. Don't say I didn't know any better and blah, blah, blah. You need to repent and you need to get right with God. And if you refuse to get right with God, then please go to hell. Because a lot of you traded in God. You traded in your love for God for the love of a woman. All right. And you see exactly where that led you. And a lot of these women, what have they done? They've destroyed their lives. They've destroyed their lives. They were out there in the streets running around with Chad and Tyrone, cheating on their husbands, doing all kinds of bad things in society. And now they're facing serious consequences because the party is done and we're heading towards the great collapse, the great V collapse. Okay. And you can't you can't help these women. One, they don't want you. And you wouldn't even be able to help them even if you wanted to, because you don't have that kind of money. There's a guy named the Straight Shooter, and he said this years ago. That these men don't have that kind of money. They don't have that kind of money to support these women and take care of these women. They really don't. You don't have that kind of money to go out there and support modern women. Modern women are cooked. They are 100% cooked, like stick a fork in them. They are done. They put themselves in a horrible situation, and now they are going to find themselves basically, living in extraordinary conditions of poverty and destitution. And there's no easy way out of that. And the only way that they know how to deal with men to get what they want from men is to gaslight them and shame them. They don't, and guys, it's like it's an easy game for women overseas to get these men that actually want to be in a relationship. But because of what women have done in Western society, a lot of men today have lost attraction. Like, guys, you know what I'm doing right now? I play all of these games on Steam. I've PC gaming. Once you go PC gaming, you can't go back. I mean, I have my gaming. I've got my incredible gaming laptop, and then I also have my Mac. And I find that a lot of games actually run without stutters. They're more likely to run without stutters on my Mac than they are on my gaming laptop. It's interesting. It could be because of their. They may just be that they're better optimized for the Mac, because that makes perfect sense. Because with PCs, there's all these different configurations. With Macs, there's the M1 chip. You know that there's an M1 chip in there. You know that it's going to use these drivers and adapters. So it makes absolute sense that it would be better optimized to run on a Mac than than your typical gaming laptop or gaming PC. But I will say this, so I switch back and forth and I'm just gaming. I'm very much into like visual novels right now, and there's some visual novels that are absolutely insane, mind blowing. Like I might start putting them up over on Angry's Arcade, where I talk about like the different games I'm playing, let you guys know which games I'm playing, and some of these not. And it's like they are mind blowing. They are just like, they really, really touch you. Like, you feel so many different things, and it's like you're interacting with the characters, the female characters of the game, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to be in a relationship with someone, or blah blah. And it's not like it's easy or anything, but it's just not toxic. It's not toxic compared to the average relationship that the average man has with the average woman in Western society, which is 100% downright toxic. And you can see now that the rats are running for the exits. They're running for the exits because a lot of these companies that went woke are going to go broke, and they're going to be sued, and they're going to lose potentially billions, if not tens of billions of dollars for discrimination, because they violated civil rights. Let me make this clear. White people have rights too. Okay? White men have rights too. And they violated, and it wasn't just white men, it was men of all skin colors, but especially white men. They violated their rights too. They violated their rights. And they are going to basically face serious consequences for violating their civil rights. All right. And of course, the left is going to say that these men are just this is patriarchy, and this is just an example of white males, blah blah blah. No, it's done. It's done. You cannot discriminate against someone based on the color of their skin, and they use DEI to discriminate against especially white males based on the color of their skin. It was legal discrimination. And now, but guess what? Even though it was a government policy, it is not a constitutional policy. And now these companies that engage in this, they are going to suffer the wrath of the judicial system. And Donald Trump is not playing around this time. It's literally, he's about that FAFO life. Okay, he posted when Colombia was misbehaving and saying that they weren't going to take back their people. He slapped a ton of tariffs on them immediately. He banned their people from like entering the country, stripped all like diplomatic rights, all kinds of stuff within an instant. And then he posted up a picture online on Truth Social of him dressed up like a mafioso with the words FAFO all over it. Mess around, find out. So we already know Trump is not playing around this time. We already know what's coming. And it is hell on earth for these companies and these organizations that did this. Wikipedia is a leftist socialist organization that has spread misinformation rapidly. They literally had things like edit Wikipedia-thon, where feminists and socialists edited the platform to change information and make it and rewrite it from a feminist perspective that favored women and feminist ideals. All right, so it's 100% biased. It's a propaganda machine. They need to 100% lose their nonprofit status. Bill Gates, his company needs to lose its nonprofit status. Okay, Soros, that's really where you hit Soros where it hurts. His company loses its nonprofit status. Oh my gosh! And then once it loses its nonprofit status, and you verify that, hey, they're running a business over there, and they're in the business of fixing elections and doing all of these things. Then you start going after all of that money. You freeze those funds so they can't spend them, and then you put the people behind these platforms in prison. Okay, and you give them 100-year sentences or 1,000-year sentences to send a message, so they will never see the light of day ever again. And that will begin to wake people up. And you don't just go for the Soroses, you don't just go for the Gates, you go for the Whoopi Goldbergs. Okay? You go for the Don Lemons. You go for the Jimmy Kimmels. And Jimmy Fallon's, because Jimmy Fallon was messing around, so he needs to find out now too. Okay? You go for the Stephen Colberts. You go for all of these individuals that were doing this stuff. You go for the biggest and the smallest, all right? You go for the rats and the roaches. Doesn't matter how big they are or small they are, everyone catches hands. The rats are running for the exits. Are you surprised, guys? And do you agree that many companies are going to feel the wrath of Donald Trump and the American people as retribution comes their way? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.